Hi everyone, welcome to week 10 of Social Media and Society. This week we will be looking at social media and advocacy activism, and you will have an opportunity to provide an example of how an individual company has used crowdfunding that we covered in week 9 via the social media and advocacy activism example activity, which is due by Sunday at midnight. It's a pretty light week again. I'm also looking for some feedback from you to continue to develop and improve this course. I'd like your feedback on the way we can deliver the reading content. I just want to make sure that everybody's benefiting as best as possible. I want to look at possible alternative formats to the one we're using now. So I'm asking you to take literally 1 minute to complete a one-question survey. So you're going to click here, and this is going to take you to another page, so it won't kick you off the one we were just on. And as I said, to continually improve this course, I want to know your feedback. And what I want to know your feedback on is, do you think the course would benefit by having the delivery of course readings through a PowerPoint, orally guided by the presenter? So it would be in the model of how I would do the YouTube instructional videos. So there would be some form of PowerPoint or some form of visuals on the computer, and I would take you through the readings. And then all you have to do is the course would benefit from an oral power presentation, and submit yes or no. Click submit, and I will get this feedback. And I thank you in advance for taking the time to do this. Any feedback helps. If you want to discuss it more with me, you feel free to email me. So let's begin week 10. So as always, we're going to click on the content page, and we're going to go down and find week 10 and begin by selecting the introduction. So thanks to their egalitarian nature, social media makes it possible for all citizens to have their voices heard, including those that may be marginalized and ignored by mainstream media. Social media is being used by activists and advocacy groups to increase their outreach and to spread information about development causes. Social media is also allowing development workers to capture emerging needs and trends and providing a vehicle for those groups to disseminate their messages and appeals in real time. In addition, social media is helping to support micro-philanthropy efforts, which are leading the way in democratizing participation in philanthropy. This module will provide an overview of some of the ways that activists, advocacy, and international development groups are using social media to support their causes. It will examine social media's role in micro-philanthropy and will discuss some of the challenges of using social media for advocacy and activism. So, after completing this module, you should be able to examine how activists and advocacy groups and international development agencies are using social media, define micro-philanthropy and provide examples, and determine the challenges in using social media for development. To complete this week, you will have the social media and advocacy activism activity, and it's due by Sunday, March 24th at 11:59. So let's quickly go over the course readings. This week you have 3, and we're going to begin by looking at social media and activism and advocacy. So once again, you're just going to read through this week's materials. There's a number of links that will just take you to different pages that will support and enhance your learning. Again, I encourage you to take the quizzes that are throughout the readings. Watch the videos that are throughout the readings, and this will only enhance your learning. It's not that long, and then you're going to look at the micro-philanthropy link. And look at the different organizations, again, quizzes, and some short videos. And finally, our last reading is on the challenges of using social media for advocacy and activism. And again, another short reading. And one of the things I wanted to point out that we didn't put in the readings, and besides the challenges of using social media for advocacy and activism, is the challenges that we as a society face in having, individuals being able to sign up. And for the most part, when groups appeal to people for support and help. For example, on my son's hockey team, there's a family that has an a severely autistic son, and every year they fundraise to help pay for the therapy they need for him, because it costs between 10 to 15,000 a year for a therapy that's not covered. And so they do different fundraisers, such as huge yard sales. The mom does a lot of knitting and crocheting that she sells online, and it's amazing to see how a community pulls together to support this. And every year they raise the funds they need to pay for their son's therapy. And just to give a side note of how amazing the therapy is for him, he is now 5, and just started talking in the past 6 months, and this was due to the therapy. On the other side of this, we could sometimes run into issues, and a lot of you would have seen this through the media, of for lack of better words, scams by individuals in society. And there's a case of a woman who pretended she had cancer and reached out to millions of people, or maybe thousands of people, to get donations to help fund her treatment. And at the end of the day, she didn't actually have cancer. And so when we look at these different things, we look at the positives and negatives of what we're able to do. And when we use these type of advocacies to enable and enrich people's lives, it works amazingly. And on the flip side is, sometimes through the ability to appeal to so many people, some individuals can take advantage of it. And that's just something I wanted us to think about as we're looking at this. And finally, we're going to look at, well, not finally yet, we have an activity, but finally we're going to look at the summary. This is just going to give you a quick synopsis of what we learned over the readings and all the references to where this information was pulled from for you. And finally, what is due this week? Right here, if you click on the social media and advocacy activism activity, it is going to take you to another page, which is going to open up to the business example activity. And here is the question. Locate one example of how a business has utilized social media to their advantage, and post your example here. Please review your peers' postings first to see if you can try and find a unique example that has not already been provided. So you're going to maybe search Google and look up this question. To do it, you're going to click on the Compose button. In the subject, you can put the company you chose and maybe your name. And then here is where you're going to compose your answer. Once you've composed your answer, you're going to submit by clicking on the post, and that will post it to the board for everyone to read. A simple activity this week. And that is the course for week 10. Once again, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Everyone, welcome to week 9. This week we will be looking at social media and the economy, and you will have